Twice a year, I have a free and complimentary frustration workshop. And it has to do with me having to solve problems for family members, who shall remain unnamed at this stage, with their passwords on their mobile devices. They forget them, they get them wrong, they lock themselves out of devices, and me, the family nerd, has to go into their devices and figure out where these passwords are. I thought about this part of my life when I was busy reading Jesus' parable about the Good Samaritan, specifically about the victim in the story, the person that was robbed and left for dead. When I thought about the theme of compassion, I think sometimes we read or we hear this story, and the big message we take away from that is we should be good Samaritans, or our neighbors are the people with the most need, and we should address that. But I do think there's a case to be made for the person in the story that was hurt, that needed to receive compassion. Many times in our lives, we are resistant to receive compassion for various reasons. We might have been hurt, and we might have been disappointed in the past, etc. And we build these passwords over our hearts that inhibit compassion to enter our lives. I do not believe this is God's will for our life, because when I look at Jesus' life, he himself was open to compassion. On the way with the cross, he fell and he accepted help from someone. Now, in our lives today, to deconstruct these passwords, it actually just means that we look at a scripture, for example, the story of the Good Samaritan, and maybe see ourselves on that road, bruised, beaten, downtrodden, void of any passwords, really, just pure vulnerability, lying in a dusty road, open to the compassion that God sends our way. Because ultimately, if we are unable to receive compassion for our own pain or hurt or needs, we might not be as fit in giving compassion to other people, which I believe might also be a part of the parable, is that we are called, yes, to give compassion to people in need, but also to be free to receive compassion, and not of all these barricades and passwords over our hearts, so that God's kingdom can come into our lives. So one question we can maybe ask this today is, what makes me take the high road when compassion is on the horizon? What makes me steer away from that path and pray over that answer and that awareness that comes from it, so that your heart won't be clogged with passwords?